Homicides are on pace to see the biggest single-year drop the U.S. has ever seen, according to a new report. Joining us now is John Lott, the president of the Crime Prevention Research Center. John is an economist and world-recognized expert on guns and crime. He also served as the senior advisor for research and statistics in the U.S. Department of Justice under the first Trump administration. John, good afternoon to you and Happy New Year. Thank you very much for joining us today. So let me just give you a bit more information on this report. The real-time crime index, it shows a nearly 20% decline in murders this year compared to 2024. Can I just ask you to start off here, how significant is this drop?
Well, we're on path right now for the lowest murder rate ever recorded in the United States. In 2024, the murder rate was slightly below 5 per 100,000. The previous record low was 4.5 per 100,000. And so if it's a 20% drop, you're going to be talking about something that's about 4 murders per 100,000 people. So that's substantially below the record low that we had before. This data that we have right now is through October, from January through October. So, the question is, will it continue through the rest of the year? But even if it's not quite at the same pace, it's pretty clear we're still going to have a record low murder rate in the United States.
What do you think caused this? What's your explanation for why we're seeing such a big drop?
Well, I think there are multiple reasons for that. Look, it's not rocket science for reducing crime. You have to make it riskier for criminals to go and commit crime. Things like higher arrest rates, higher conviction rates, longer prison sentences, letting individuals be able to go and defend themselves. All those things make it riskier for criminals to commit crime. Trump has demonstrated that in places like Washington, D.C. and Memphis, where he's federalized law enforcement in those places. You've had the FBI doubling the number of arrests that they've made this year compared to 2024. You've also dealt with illegal aliens. Illegal aliens commit a lot more crime, disproportionately crime in the United States. Trump has concentrated on deporting criminal illegal aliens, but it's more than that. Even the ones that he hasn't caught are worried about getting deported. And the way that they keep themselves from being deported is to go and keep off of police radar. And the way they keep off of being on police radar is not to commit many crimes, because if they get arrested or they get charged, ICE is often there in many parts of the country to go and detain them and deport them. And so they don't want to get arrested or charged with crimes.
So you asked the question earlier whether these numbers are sustainable, but if Trump's policies, as you described just now, continue into the new year, is it reasonable to assume that we're going to continue seeing a further drop in crime numbers?
Well, yeah, I think if you continue doing the policies that you've been doing, I think it's reasonable to assume you're going to continue to see the lower numbers that we have here. I don't see any reason why they would change. You have U.S. attorneys around the country who are prosecuting a lot more criminals. You have more people being arrested. Those are all positive signs. And if they keep on trying to deport the criminal illegal aliens, you not only remove them, but you make it so that the remaining criminal illegals that you haven't caught are going to be reticent to go and get caught by police. So they're not going to want to go and commit crimes.
Okay, so John, I'm not an expert on this, so I want to ask you this. Does a sharp drop in homicide necessarily mean a drop in violence? Or does it mean everyday people actually feel safer in daily life?
Well, I mean, murders are a small part of overall violent crime. The two don't necessarily go together. But I think after the huge percentage increase that we saw in violent crime during the Biden administration, I think that that's also going to be reversed this year. There are two measures that you have of crime. One is the FBI data on crimes reported to police, and that fell by about 8% during the Biden administration. But we have a much broader measure of total violent crimes from the Bureau of Justice Statistics. And that's kind of the gold standard for looking at crime changes, and that increased by a record 59% during the 4 years of the Biden administration. We've never seen anything even remotely similar to that in the past. And I think we're going to see this year, I mean, the data won't come out until September of this year, but when it finally comes out for 2025, I think we'll see a substantial drop, not only in murders, but also in violent crime across the board.
Okay, so John, we're talking about this drop, but it's actually in relative terms compared to 2024, right? So I'm wondering if you can paint us a picture of the current level of crime in the U.S. compared to historically.
Right. Well, I mean, if you compare it to the early 90s or whatever, we're much lower. Obviously, but, you know, as I say, in terms of murder rates, if it remains on path for what it's been doing up through October, you're going to have a murder rate that we've never seen in the entire time that we've recorded data on murders. It would never have been as low as 4 per 100,000. It may even be slightly below that. That would be record lows. We've never seen anything even close to that.
Well, all right, John. Good to speak with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy New Year. People can find more at our website at crimeresearch.org. But thank you.
Right. And I encourage our viewers to do that. Thank you. New York City officially has a new mayor today. So Ram Mamdani